Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about what are all the conditions for resource deadlock. So before that we need to follow the sequence of events for each and every process because the process may request the resource and afterwards it can use that resource, and after using it it has to release the resource. If it does not follow this sequence of events, then it will lead to the deadlock. So once the resource, suppose if the process is requesting resource, that particular resource is not available means there are three cases that the process can follow. The first case is the process may wait for the particular resource. The second case is the process will be blocked automatically. So in most of the operating systems, so this is the case which is it is following. Whenever the process requests the resource and that requesting resource is not available means it will be automatically blocked. Third case is once the request is fails, so the process request for the resources and the request fails, which means the resource is not available currently. So the request fails will be intimated to the process with the help of the error code. So some error code will be given. So with that it come to know about the request, the requesting resources is not available. So it just wait for a while, it will wait for a while, and afterwards it will try again, and after some time again it will try for the resources. It will wait for a while, so it will not wait until the resources will be free. Okay, so these are all the three cases that we can follow once the resources is not available. But the second one is the obvious one because most of the operating system including Linux will use this kind of thing. It will block. So whenever we are telling that if any of the process in blocked state, then we have to follow the semaphore operation. Once we need to undergo the semaphore operation. So let us see. Here we have the code for two process, process A and process B, and how it is requesting the resource, and if the resource is not available, so how it is actually getting blocked. So first one, we have declared the semaphore variable, semaphore resource 1. And so resource, it is actually the shareable resources. Okay, so it can be not shareable, but it can be used by any of the process, but not at the same time, right? So here we have the first process, and the first process is trying to request that resource. So if it needs that particular resource, first it has to check whether that resource is available or not, otherwise it has been allotted to any other process. So we are checking that with the help of this down operation. So down of resource 1, if it is there, then it will use it, and afterwards it will release it, right? So with the help of the app operation. So in the same way we have another set of code for the two process, but how it is actually using the more than one resources. So here we have two resources, resources 1 and resources 2. So we have the first process, that is A. In the same way it is actually requesting the resources. For that it needs to check whether that particular resource is available. So first it is checking for the resource number 1, and afterwards it is checking for resource number 2. If though both the resources are available means, then it will use those resources, and afterwards it will release in which order it is actually got that resource, in which order the resource has been allocated to that process. In the same order it has to release it. So fine previously the resource 2 has been allotted, so it has to release the resource 2 initially, and afterwards resource 1 has been released. So this is what how it is following the order of requesting and releasing the resources. Okay, and the next one, conditions for the resource deadlock. So when can we get the deadlock? At what conditions we will get the deadlock in the system? First one is mutual exclusion condition. So we all know what is mutual exclusion, which means at a time only one process can use any of the resources. So if both the process can use the resources, no problem. So if it is a shareable resources means no problem, we will not get the deadlock. But if you are providing this condition, that is mutual exclusion, at a time only one process can use the resource, other process may not use it at the same time, which means the other process has to wait for the resources whatever it is requesting which is already allocated to some other process. It may leads to deadlock. If this condition satisfied, then it will leads to deadlock. If any one of the condition among these four satisfied in the system, then obviously we will get deadlock. The second one is hold and wait. Hold and wait is nothing but, suppose we have one process, okay, so this is actually one resources, and we have one process P and Q, okay. Process has been represented with a circle and resource has been given as a square, okay. Now what happens, the process okay, there is another one resources R1 and R2. So what happens here, the process which is already allocated this particular resource, process P has got this resource R2 and again it is requesting for the resource R1. Hold and wait, which is nothing but, already the particular resource has been given to process P, but it is again requesting for some other resource. If this condition satisfied, then again it will also leads to deadlock. Look at here, there is another process Q, it is also requesting this resource, but R1 is already, R1 is already allocated to process Q, okay. So what happens, it is also deadlock. Process P is requesting for the resource which is already allocated to process Q, and process Q again it is requesting for the resource R2 which is already allocated to process P, so which forms a deadlock. So it will not get the resource R1 until it released this R2. This will not get the resource R2 until it releases this R1. So like that, uh, we have the one cyclic condition. So one cycle exists in this particular graph. So I will tell you what is graph and how we are getting cycle. So we can detect the graph. With the help of the graph we can decide whether deadlock will occur or not. That is what the next topic, okay. So first we will see this condition, first one, and the next one, no preemption. So what do you mean by no preemption? So already we discussed resources can be of two type, one is preemptible and another one is non-preemptible. So if it is not preemptible, then obviously we will get the deadlock. So already in the previous video I just discussed about this non-preemption mode of resources, okay. Finally, circular wait. Circular wait is nothing but, again, so one process will wait for another process and other process will wait for some other process. So in the same way, so here there are actually two process P and Q. P is actually waiting for Q to release the resource. Q is actually waiting for the process P to release the resource. So this is what circular wait. So even if you can have more number of process, and so if P1 is waiting for P2, P2 is waiting for P3, P3 is waiting for P4, so it just goes on up to Pn, and again Pn is waiting for P1. So this is what circular wait, okay. So if any of these four conditions if you get in the system, so obviously it will leads to deadlock. Mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, and then circular wait. So all these conditions to be prevented in case of deadlock prevention methods, and all these conditions we have to avoid it. So we have actually two methods to prevent, or to either we can prevent the deadlock or we can avoid the deadlock. So we'll discuss all those things in future videos, okay. Thank you.